Fall harvest is coming fast, and with it, the stress, the bills, and ultimately the margin for costly mistakes are beginning to stack up. Every single dollar matters right now. But the truth is, most farmers today wait until the very last minute to actually start thinking about protecting their bottom line, aka their profits, and ultimately, if you're in that position, it's already too late for you. Today's video is for the farm operator that wants to go into harvest with a detailed game plan in place and a strategy going into the end of the year as well. I'm going to walk you through 3 simple but very effective ways to cut costs, avoid stupid and costly mistakes, and ultimately increase your profits. Now, what you need to know is these aren't huge strategy things, but 3 very simple things you can start taking action on to see results this week. And you don't need to overhaul your entire operation. This is about foundational structure inside of your operation and creating simple guardrails that keep you headed in the right direction when things will get chaotic going into fall harvest. Number 1 is, and this one's going to sound extremely simple, but get your numbers organized. Now, I know I say this in every video, guys, but the reality is we're moving into the later part of the year here, and this is when the stories start for most operators. And the reason this is happening is because they got their numbers structured and organized at the beginning of the year, but guess how many times they've looked at them since then? If you're being honest, most of you are going to say 0 times, Jace. I have not looked at them since then. I hope my baker's paying attention because I've just been going about my way the past 8 months of the year, hoping and praying that things just end up working out at the end of the year. And I'm sorry, my friends, but that is a guaranteed way to destroy your farm operation long term. You are going to slowly but surely eat away at your operation's equity year after year after year because the numbers are not top of mind for you. And the reason I say this is because I've just seen it happen so many freaking times over the past 10 or 15 years that I've been working on the ag finance side inside of this industry. I've seen the same patterns happen over and over and over again. And I'm not even putting all the fault on the producer because the truth is, if you're not holding yourself accountable to updating your numbers, your banker should be because they're taking a risk by investing their capital into your operation. But regardless of them, it is your responsibility as a business owner to make sure that you're updating these things here. And again, I can guarantee you going into the second half or later part of the year, getting into fall harvest, this is where the stories start because your line of credit, it may not be as low as you want it right now. Your tax bill that you know may be coming because you did things in prior years, bought equipment that you didn't need to kick that tax bill further down the line. Well, now you may have to actually ultimately pay up on those things too. And the stories start, the stress starts to build, the anxiety starts to build. And now all of a sudden, all the decisions that you're making going forward are based 100% on emotions and not facts and logic. And this is where we just see a lot of people start getting into trouble. So when I say it starts with number 1, just getting your numbers structured and organized, it sounds simple, but most of you, even watching this video, you won't do it. And the reason for that is because people fear looking at the numbers. And even in times like this year, we have bankruptcies increasing across the country, especially in states like Arkansas, for example. There was a recent article put out on that. And people, they want to avoid these problems and bury them. But the reality is, the longer you bury these painful problems, the more painful they're actually going to get. And this is God's way of showing you and hopefully motivating you to finally do something about it. So yes, this is a very simple thing to do, but again, be in the top 1% of farmers or ranchers in this country that will actually go and do it, because the other 99%, the clock is ticking inside of their operation. It's not a matter of if they will go bankrupt, it's literally a matter of when. And it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. For a lot of people, it could be in the next 24 months. And this is just the harsh reality of our economic environment that we're in today. There is a demand and a requirement in today's economic environment that you know and master your numbers at a detailed level, and make sure that you have the discipline or accountability to be updating those numbers at a minimum on a monthly basis. The numbers are too big, my friends, to only be updating them on a quarterly, semi-annually, or even worse than that, an annual basis to get your operating line of credit renewed. You have to have a different level of discipline here and strategy when it comes to running your operation. And with all of our customers inside a Legacy Farmer, we hold them accountable to make sure they're updating their numbers on a monthly basis. And the truth is, like I've already talked about, you can already sense this pressure building, right? The anxiety, the stress, the stories start to stir in your mind because at the end of the day, you know that you don't know your numbers as well as you need to, and you have some big checks that you're potentially going to have to write here going into fall harvest or the second half of the year. So the question is, are you ready to manage your numbers, or are you just going to continue to let them manage you? And inside a Legacy Farmer, this is the first and foundational thing that we do with all of our customers coming in here, because if you don't have this foundation set up, you're flying your operation blindly, and you have no idea really what you're doing, nor do you have any idea idea how your year is going to end up. And this is what causes all that stress and anxiety. And if you don't have financial structure and organization that supports confident decision making, then the end of the year, it'll eat you up. And Inside a Legacy Farmer will help you take control step by step. All right, now the second point inside of today's video, and arguably the most important one here too, is before you go into fall harvest or kind of the busy part of the second half of the year here, make sure you're investing time with your family. Now, the way that I look at investing time with your family, treat your family like a bank account. And what I mean by that is most farmers and ranchers, they constantly miss either kids' events or holidays or just time spent with their family, right? Most of our customers that have come into Legacy Farmer, for most of them, it's been years since they went on a family vacation or just a vacation with their spouse, right? Which is obviously going to bring up a lot of problems when it comes to marriage and raising your children. So I share that example with you because most farmers and ranchers, all they've done is take withdrawals out of that family bank account. And by withdrawal, I mean withdrawal of time, energy, and ultimately space there that you're spending with your family there. And the reason I say invest time into your family, because that's you making, instead of a withdrawal, we're making a deposit into that family bank account there of your time, your energy, and everything like that. Because deep down, you know, once harvest hits or the busy part of the second half of the year hits, you're going to be taking massive withdrawals. But most farmers and ranchers, a lot of them, they come in to Legacy Farmer with a strained marriage or strained relationship with their kids or things like that, because all they've been conditioned to do their entire life is take withdrawals and just expect their spouse or their kids to just accept it. I'm sorry, but most people today, that's not going to cut it. And we've seen so many people drastically turn their marriages around when we just change their mindset around, okay, hey, I'm going to be busy here for a month and a half, so let's spend a week here at the end of the summer or whatever that is. Let's go on a family vacation. Make that deposit so when it comes time to make that withdrawal, and it's received a lot differently and ultimately a lot better for you, and you don't feel the guilt, the shame, or anything like that that comes with it when it comes to going out and busting your ass to provide for your family and ultimately try to build an operation that you can pass on to the next generation. I talk about that, and I talk in a way that I know what I'm talking about. The reason is because we have experienced that so many times with hundreds of family farm operations coming into Legacy Farmer over the years, and this is just a common occurrence, which is why I'm putting it as point number 2 inside of today's video, because it's so important that you get this point right. All right, and the third point inside of today's video is to get your personal operating system right. And what I'm talking about here is you. So when we're getting ready to go into any busy times of the year, most people, you know, before going into that busy time, they hopefully have a set structure or schedule there that they can repeat pretty consistently on a day-to-day basis. But the reality is, once you're thrown into the busy time, like harvest, for example, all that structure that you had goes out the window. And all of a sudden, you're completely off track in all the important areas of your life. Now, inside of Legacy Farmer, we talk about a concept called Core 4, and I've talked about this in other videos as well. But Core 4 covers 4 key areas inside of your life. Number 1 is going to be your body, right? Your fitness, your health, nutrition. Number 2 is going to be your being, which is your connection to a higher purpose or spirit, aka God in my mind. And also, too, the stories that consume your mind on a day-to-day basis. Number 3 is going to be balance, and that is your critical relationships with your spouse or your kids or any other important figures inside of your life. And then number 4 is your business. Now, the reason they go in that order is not just by coincidence. It's because at the end of the day, it always starts with you and your body. And when you start to experience these tiresome times, like harvest, for example, the first thing that you need to turn your focus back to is the foundational things you need to do on a day-to-day basis to get your body on point for the day. I get it. You're going to be tired. You're going to be exhausted. I'm not saying you need to go do like a full-on hour or 2 long workout, but just get your body up and make sure you're taking care of yourself before you go and start leading your family or your team in the middle of harvest. It just doesn't work very well if you jump straight out of bed and then you're just off in the pickup, you're chugging some coffee, you're stopping at Casey's, you're eating like shit, like I'm just being truthful with you, and then you're trying to go lead your team at a high level. There's an energy that comes when you show up and you've done the necessary things to make sure you're good from a body standpoint, a being standpoint, and a balance standpoint. You are going to lead your business completely different. But if you haven't taken care of yourself, what do you think your energy is going to be like when it comes to leading your team effectively? It's not going to be good. And people can sense it as well. This isn't something that you can just hide. People can sense when your energy is off. And the reality is your team wants to be led by somebody who leads their own life with a disciplined and strategic approach to making sure that they're doing the things they need to do on a daily basis to be on point and be ready to lead their team at a high level. The energy is just different. And when you do this, though, I'm just telling you, you're going to see the productivity across your entire team change. The energy for that day is going to change. And your energy drives drives everything. So do yourself a favor and make sure with the busy times coming, you are doing everything you need to do to make sure your personal operating system is taken care of, because otherwise, if you don't do this, you're going to see the slow, steady decline, and you're going to see the anger, the resentment, the anxiety, the stress, all these things start to build up when you're going through that busy time of season, which obviously is not what we want and is guaranteed to not produce the results that you want for yourself, your family, or your team. So to wrap up today's video, if you are sick and tired of flying blind financially, running on fumes at home, and letting your stress run the show, we built Legacy Farmer for people just like you. Our entire system is designed to help farmers just like you take back control of their operation and their life, especially during the high pressure or high stress seasons. You'll get the tools, structure, and coaching to lead with confidence at home, in the field, and in your finances. Click the link below this video and schedule a free call with our team. Let's talk about exactly what you need for your farm operation and if we can help.